watching on KWN TV and ITV Chattanooga, and of course on News Radio KWN listening this morning. We welcome to KWN today both our mayor, Alex Case. He wears many hats, but of course the mayor of the city of Trenton, along with the executive from Dade County, Ted Rumley. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We thank both of you for coming in this morning. Never happened before, as far as I remember, any kind of shelter in place ever in the state of Georgia.
No.
And of course, our governor signing that order yesterday afternoon. Lots of questions.
Lots of questions that were, as we received it last night during the county commission, we spent some time afterwards looking at it as well. We are still looking at it today. And one of the things, a lot of the things that we've sent out, folks are highlighting and sending it in. We'll be answering those as quick as we can through our social media or email or our info at dadecounty-ga.gov. You know, a lot of leadway from ACCG and Georgia Municipal Association will be helping us leaders as well help understand that. Probably 4 or 5 major questions. Can I go get food? Yes. You can go to the grocery store. You can go to the drive-through, curbside pickup, things like that. We've got to continue to live at home. Can I go get my medicine? You go get your medicine at your pharmacy. Call ahead. A lot of the drive-throughs, a lot of the things that are there. And remember, if you cannot get out or you don't think you need to get out, contact the Dade County Sheriff's Office. They are doing that pickup for you as long as your groceries can be purchased and your pharmacies can.
But don't call 911.
Yeah.
Not unless it's an emergency. Do not call.
Yeah, we have received several calls by people physically dialing 911. It opens up our emergency tandems. We ask them to call the business line. We hang up on them, but you know that's what that info is for.
Right.
You know, another big question is, and you know, we do have we have divided families, like people that have separated and they're exchanging children back and forth. Grandparents are exchanging children back and forth. I had calls from Alabama that go to Rome and meet someone. We do a lot of that exchange starting today at Veterans Park, Commission office. A lot of people look at common ground inside the city and county. That is essential to continue family living. You know, any outdoor workers, your contractors, your landscapers, your delivery services, things like that has to continue on, because if you cannot get your supplies, the order also encourages home deliveries if possible. So you know that FedEx, UPS, and other agencies have got to do these supplies. So again, we picked it to death nearly 11 o'clock last night, and even emails and texts back and forth later over close to midnight between some of us, and again reading it today and looking at things. But you know, it's something different. It's something we're learning together. We'll learn together as a government and as a community and as a state.
Well, I know that the city of Trenton had already put some restrictions in, closed the restaurants as far as in dining, but this executive order with the governor kind of supersedes everything, and it closes some additional businesses.
It does.
Daycare centers that have been open, that with the exception of the ones that keep healthcare workers
Yep.
and essential workers, so they can continue to operate, but the rest have to shut down. Barbershops, beauty salons, non-essential businesses. And Mayor, I want to ask you, and then I'll ask an executive. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of calls on this, but like the industrial park,
Yeah.
all of our manufacturers, pretty much we identified that they're all essential because of what they produce.
They provide supplies. These critical infrastructures, again, we've got a tremendous amount of list through the Homeland Security list of those critical infrastructures. It also states if you are a supplier providing supplies for that critical infrastructure, you can continue to do.
You know, Gill Manufacturing does automobiles.
Automobiles.
Vanguard builds transportation
Yep.
trailers.
Integer or what's their new name?
The medical.
The medical field, them and Phelps Dodge are both of them. They provide, you know, the catheters and things like that. But they're also asking those businesses, like we are here, you stay 6 foot apart.
All right, that's the reason you can only see just the profile of
Yep.
the executive over here because we got everybody faced
So
out.
you do those best practices inside, providing the PPE if they need it, hand washing, keeping the surfaces clean, and still providing these services. You know, it's
The governor's order, of course, gives a lot of things that you can do, like that you went over as far as going to the grocery store, going to pick up food. They encourage home delivery. You can walk your dog.
Yep.
You can get outside. You can walk. You can do your normal things, and they encourage outdoor activity. And I know Commissioner Rumley, y'all had a lengthy discussion about Cloudland Canyon last night, and then Commissioner Hartline had brought up the fact that he thinks if they close the park at Cloudland Canyon, then y'all need to close both the city and the county parks. So I know that you passed a resolution last night to ask the governor, and it's just asking him to close the park through April 30th.
That's true. That'll be sent actually this morning directly to him, and we'll send a hard copy also to the office. But we'll wait on an answer for that. He is limiting. He did come up with 150 cars, I think, a day, and he does have game and fish out there enforcing that. But we feel though that if he doesn't, we feel it needs to be closed at least through the end of April. And if he doesn't, we still have the power to monitor the traffic on that road. It's a county road, and we'll actually, the Sheriff's Department's already agreed to help us on this, of course, and that will be for for sheltered-in-place states that are actually have that enacted, and we can turn them around and say go home.
Well,
That's
some
what
are
other
saying
counties
is like
do.
Georgia is the shelter-in-place
That's right.
state.
That's
so actually, that would apply to anybody.
it would.
And I know the AJC is reporting this morning there are no limits on exercise so long as social distancing is employed. Georgians can visit state parks and play sports outside. Is what they're reporting, including golf through gatherings of more than 10 people are banned unless at least 6 feet apart between each person.
Now they can visit state parks, that's fine, but if we deem that, which we do, we deem that as a health hazard for the people of Dade County by bringing those people in from a hot spot, which is Atlanta and that area, those counties, then we are here to protect our people. So we can control our county road, and we can control that traffic going into that park. Now it can stay open, that's fine. Then we can actually let local traffic go in and out, from our county and whatever. But now that's something that's I guess that's an arguable subject. I don't know, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not arguable. It's using common sense, and we're going to try to take care of the people in Dade County.
Right now, and Governor Ivey of the state of Alabama, which we border, and probably 60-70% of the business that we do here in the city of Trenton comes from the Alabama folks. They are not a shelter-in-place state, so they
Not
have
yet.
they will be able to
They
go
would, yep.
differently.
And another one of the things is people providing health care, hospice, or checking on relatives was another option for those folks. And Commissioner Terry Powell over Parks and Rec, we've had this conversation 2 or 3 times, and we did last night. And even after that mention, with local folks trying to get out and do their things, that's one of the things the governor has said in the past, and we will follow suit and work with the county if that comes to a point. If the governor does do that, we would as well. But you can do these exercises and things at home as well too, outside.
I
driving.
think all of y'all, and I've heard all of y'all, and including the governor, 6 feet distance. You can do these things. So I think what's happening at the park, best I can tell, is there's not enough enforcement. That's the enforcement is not there. Now with this governor's order, I did read the fact that if someone can be charged, disobeying that order can be charged with a misdemeanor.
It can, and also an executive order, the law enforcement that does that, they will warn these people first, because some of them may not know or understand the law. It's 37-3 or 38 It's 38-3-7, which is done during emergency management or a pandemic or a crisis like that through the governor. And I was reading on some of it this morning. Also in that order, those folks that will have that option to give that, they're going to warn these folks, hey, this is what's going on, please. And I think that's what Tommy, the sheriff's office, Tommy and Chad and Ray and them will do with their officers is, hey, this is this order in place. You can't do this. Go home. If somebody continues to do that, the same person, that's an option we will know. If they pull this person back over again, or they run them and they say, hey, this person was talked to 2 days ago for the same issue, then they would probably write that ticket in that misdemeanor. So,
but that's you mentioned not having the manpower there. They would if they actually have days like they had Saturday and Sunday. You're not talking about 4 or 5 people up there, extra for the parks. That was totally something that was. It would take a number of people to keep the crowd control and the traffic up there at that park with what happened last weekend.
But of course, he has already said only 150 cars.
Yeah. 150 cars in with a gate lock. So if you've got another 100 outside that gate, then you're blocking 136 all the way up both ways. You're talking if you had 150 cars is nothing. And I understand what he's trying to do, but I don't think they understand the severity of what happened last weekend. And not only that, but it's just the idea of actually transmitting the disease. I don't know how well they're going to actually control that. There's many people's out there and say, okay, 6 foot apart and no group, because it was hard enough for them. They had one man up there regulating the steps going down to the falls and up, and it was completely. He had to stop people, and they were in line waiting just to go 2 at a time to go down through there, and they were still congregating at the bottom. So you'd have to have men at the bottom, men halfway up, or ladies and men, whatever. But so it's an issue, and we just there's some worried people, and it's not just a few people. It's people that about this. Actually, it's like a pipeline bringing it into Dade County, from a hot area down there, So,
I guess you'll definitely let us know what the governor's reaction is to that letter.
Yeah.
We've got about 5 minutes left. Let's go over once again. There's been many questions. We fielded questions here. Will the roads be shut down? And that will be no. Let's go over, and Mayor, you've done a good job at the beginning of it. We need to remind folks this is really nothing more than just a little bit more closing of a few more businesses and putting a little bit of teeth behind staying at home. We've been basically telling everybody.
Yeah, we have, and again, the major concern of this is to slow that curve down. People are going to continue to get sick, and we're slowing down that sickness and hopefully keeping them at home to keep the curve of the hospital getting so high that they don't have enough beds and ventilators for the folks that really need these. That's what we're trying to do. We're also the caution of our health our health industry, or our EMTs and paramedics and the officers out there, that if you really need something, you can do that, but they're wearing all this personal protective gear to protect themselves. All types of special measures or extra measures we're doing to make sure that they can go home clean, come back for their few days and come back to work. But that's what we're trying to do, is just stay home a little bit more, help us stop this curve, help the state of Georgia, the community, and the nation. We got to slow this curve down.
Coming up immediately following this program in a couple of minutes, we're going to hear from the governor. We're going to be running his video message to the state outlining the executive order yesterday. So for those of you that didn't get a chance to hear that or see that, that'll be coming up immediately following the show. You can go to the grocery store. Matter of fact, talk with both of the major grocery stores here in Dade County, and they are fully stocked, and they're doing everything they can to keep replenishing. Today's going to be a busy day there.
It is. I understood Food Outlet on their website. Food Outlet, pick the Trenton. You can build your list, pay for it. They'll pull it, call you when it's ready. You come down, you call in, and they'll bring it out to you curbside and put it in.
And they're also some of the heroes that are having to stay up with this demand, because they've never seen the type of grocery buying that we've done.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a Christmas day, it's not a Thanksgiving, it's that on steroids. It is. Telling me as far as, but they're doing a great job. We'll have plenty of groceries during this time. You can get your medicine. If you're at home, the Sheriff's Department here in Dade County, and I'm going to go ahead and say any Sheriff's Department that are listening, whether
Yep.
you're in Marion County or Dade County or Walker County or DeKalb County or even Hamilton County, if you need something, call your local non-emergency number to your local authorities, Sheriff's Department or 911 non-emergency number. Somebody will get you what you need.
That's right. That's what the info's at Dade Sheriff or info at dadecounty-ga.gov, and we'll do our best, and that's what we're doing, looking constantly.
And that website he just mentioned, our Dade County website, it does have the full governor's orders there. You can go online and read those. If you have questions, you can call us if you don't understand that. But it's pretty lengthy to read, but there's a lot of things in there that that'll answer your questions, what you can do and can't do, and the different people that have a right to be out. As far as the people that actually need to be traveling. So just go on that website, and there's also a lot of information on there about people that need help. Whether you're small business or whatever, or your unemployment. There's a lot of things there that gives you numbers directly to contact.
Yeah.
And my number is 6678999. Alex is easy to reach. Just call us if you really need to talk verbally to someone, and we'll be glad to guide you or help you any way we can.
Commissioner, Mayor, we thank you on behalf of everybody in the tri-state area, the Dade Countyans, for keeping us up to date about what's happening here locally and getting the information out. We thank you.
There's a big team there, thanking all the people that help us, and we're a small part of that. So.
And of course, we'll continue to air both on radio and television the live update at 3 o'clock
3
every
o'clock,
day
right.
here on KWN AM and FM and KWN TV. Once again, we're going to have the governor's executive order. He'll explain that coming up on radio and television. And we just encourage everyone to do our part for our family, for our neighbor, and for ourselves. Do our part and stay apart.
Yep.
And that's basically, if we all do that, I think we're going to be fine.
That's
Yep.
true.
During
Again and again, a good, wonderful community of faith of our Lord, and praying for
Absolutely.
our neighbors, our family, our county, our city, our state, and our nation. That's He's in control.
Absolutely. Very, very well said there, Mayor. Well, thank y'all, and of course, y'all will have a live update this afternoon at 3 o'clock. For those of you that did not get to hear the governor, we're going to air it for you now here on KWN AM and FM, KWN TV.